Also following developing news as Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu throws the U.S. brokerage for the ceasefire into question. The Israeli military carried out airstrikes in multiple locations across the Gaza Strip today. This comes after Netanyahu said that the remains of the hostages returned by Hamas overnight were body parts of another hostage who was recovered almost 2 years ago. I'm joined now by Dr. Duerr, the chair of the History and Government Department at Cedarville University. Thanks again for joining us. Is there a clear reason for this call for airstrikes from the Prime Minister? Is it directly tied to hostage concerns, or is it more to do with gunfire on the ground?
Both. Israel, the Israeli Defense Forces, argued that 2 of its soldiers were killed by Hamas terrorists recently, and so that's the major impetus for these airstrikes. Hamas, in response, has said the IDF has not lived up to its side of the deal, and that is it's supposed to withdraw from 70% of Gaza's territory, including the major cities around Khan Yunis and Gaza City. But on the other side, as you also noted in the beginning, because Hamas has not lived up to its side of the agreement in returning the remains of the hostages, Israel has also said that Hamas has violated the terms of the agreement as well. And so it's very much a back and forth. One side does this, the other side does that. Hamas is also supposed to disband and give up its arms entirely, but they have committed public executions in the streets as well. So there's severe concern on the ground as to the safety of people.
Well, with these strikes having been carried out, what happens next, and will the U.S. get back involved?
Vice President J.D. Vance has been on the ground in Jerusalem and is trying to give direction. He was disappointed in a vote taken in the Knesset and made that known. But there are a range of spoilers in the region, from Hezbollah in southern Lebanon to militants in Syria and some disturbances in the West Bank. And so Israel has been occupied elsewhere. But the good news is a lot of the initial components of the ceasefire are holding. There's at least a reduction in violence. And it is worth noting with a greater context that in places like Bosnia in 1995 or Northern Ireland in 1998 or Colombia in 2016, these ceasefires sometimes take time. There are sometimes problems that emerge, but it looks like the 2 sides have at least a pathway to work it out if Hamas disbands and leaves the area.
Well, this is still just phase 1 of the agreement. What would it take to get to phase 2 right now?
Really, it's incumbent upon getting the right remains back. That is the biggest point in Israel, from the left to the right of the political spectrum, and really having Hamas disband as well. Once that's in place, really, the IDF is next in line. It's got to withdraw to 70%, from 70% of the territory, then to 90%, then fully out once a technocratic government can be put in place, chaired by President Trump of the United States, but also with leadership from Tony Blair, the former British Prime Minister. Once those pieces are in place, there's a lot more likelihood of a lasting peace.
All right, well, we have a start, but still a long way to go. Dr. Duerr, the chair of the History and Government Department at Cedarville University. As always, we really appreciate your time this afternoon.